Aren't these little mini miners behind me so small, cute, quiet, profitable? Well, guess what? That's not what we're talking about today. Today, we're talking about the big boys, the toasty boys behind me. Yeah, full-scale ASIC miners. In particular, we're going to be breaking down the Goldshell CK6. It's an application-specific integrated circuit miner. That means it's a purpose-built machine. All it does is mine cryptocurrency. The price on it is going to come down, but this thing right now costs about $10,000. Previously sold out, but more stocks on the way. The question though is, how's it been working? You know, is it reliable? Is it efficient? Is it profitable? How much does it earn? How much does it burn in electricity? How to set it up, the ease of that, the coin it mines. We're gonna cover it all in today's video. My name is Vosk. I'll be your host today. Make sure to slap that subscribe button. Let's jump into another mining review. As always, nothing in this video is financial advice. My name is Vosk, and we have worked with Goldshell before, so please understand that, but they did not send us the Goldshell CK6, and I'll explain exactly how this miner came into our possession, basically where we got it from, and all that stuff. So I'll break down everything today. So the first thing you want to do is get the miner, plug it in, right? Power cord, Ethernet. Then you got electricity and internet going to the miner. And if you don't know anything about that, watch our starter guide on how to set up electricity in your home to be mining profitably and above all, safe. Okay, we also have a full-blown basic guide on how to set up an ASIC miner if it's basically daunting and scary. So now that you've seen all of that and heard all of that, you find the IP address. See mine randomly generated here, 192.168.4.199. I just log into my router or an app on my phone. I see everything I need to see. I get notified when new devices join the network. It's sweet, it's easy. If you don't have that or do it that way, or you're on someone else's network basically, or whatever else, download an app. There's a bunch of free ones like Fing, F-I-N-G, and that'll locate devices on your network there. And from there, you basically just have to find the right one. Goldshell miners always show up as QSDK in my local network. Probably going to be the same for you there. So we can see the performance when we log in. I also didn't say, obviously, I converted the language to English and I unlocked the device using the default password, which is just 1 through 9. This device has had perfect uptime for about 5 days straight since I got it in and hooked up. The reject rate is actually pretty high at 4.5% here. But again, running pretty smooth, pretty stable, pretty much as expected. It's running in a pretty hot environment. In the warmer months here, my system is really pushed to its limit. So you can see the temp in Celsius, right? The air's coming in at 70 Celsius and it's going out at 84 Celsius. You don't know, it's pretty hot. So we click over to the miner and we click add. And from here we can add any of these mining pools we want. I personally mine with DX Pool. I recommend you do too as well. And also use our link to sign up in the video description below. We have contacted them and we will have discount codes available to people signing up through our link for their mining pool. That's not the only reason though. In all seriousness, I tested a bunch of pools over last year. I was mining more coins with them. So I personally switched. And then I was like, hey guys, we featured in the video. Can I get some coupons for the boys? And they said, yeah, sure. I was like, all right, that's pretty cool. So, hey, again, you do whatever pool you want, right? So once you do that, for DX Pool, there's a username. You have an account, you log in. So mine's Voskcoin.worker name. Keep it simple. Like this would just be CK6. If I had a second CK6, I'd probably call it CK62, or maybe like if you have a bunch lined up on a shelf, maybe this would be like slot A12, right? However you want to do it. You click apply, and then it's input there. I think it's always good to put a backup pool. So I have F2 pool as my backup pool here in case DX Pool should ever go down. There are no modes. There's no different algorithms. There's no nothing here. Okay, there's no cute lights on it either. No RGB. You punch the mining pool information in and click apply, and that's pretty much it. You can drag these up and down, whichever one is at the top will simply be your priority. So once you do that, you can head over to DX pool and log in and monitor, right? So I click on the CKB pool out of all the coins they have, and here's the status. We can see my hash rate, and we can break it down over each day, which is interesting. You know, I had a much higher hash rate these first 2 days, 18.8 terahash a day, or on average a day, so, you know, per second, but throughout 24 hours, 18.9, and now I've dropped down to 18.3, which is a pretty stark decrease there. I would attribute that personally probably just to heat. It's been a little bit warmer, it's running hotter, and when things start to run too hot, their performance degrades, your profitability degrades. It doesn't mean you should blow a bunch of money and try to put your miners in a freezer. Basically, it's just kind of the way it goes. So when we click on manage, we can see different miners that I've attached to this pool, and we see CK6. So this is a great way to break down individual details, especially with multiple miners. So we can run through here. Got a super high reject rate now at 7.37%. Again, we break it down. My pool information is basically the same as this miner because it's the only miner for CKB I have pulled up right here. Then I can click over to profits, and I think it's awesome. It keeps how many coins you've been paid out in total with your account here. It's always a fun number. Nothing's cooler than, like, you know, trying to just, it's a leaderboard gamification thing to me. I love just kind of, you know, racking the numbers up. I'm like, all right, let's get to 100,000. Like, all right, let's get to 1,000,000, or whatever else. So we can break this down by day, and we can see, so first full day was hooked up. I mined about 2,163 CKB. Next day, 2,048, 2,081, 2,100. So I think it's safe to say I'm mining about 2,100 CKB per day. Those are Nervos network coins here. DXpool has a cool wallet function. It's just under this whole tab, and from here you can basically set up your miners, and you can hold the coins in the account until you get a wallet set up or an exchange account set up, or for whatever reason. You cannot deposit. They don't allow those functions, but you can stop auto withdrawal or enable auto withdrawal, or just click withdraw and do manual withdrawals whenever you want to do so. Personally, I have my coins auto withdrawing into the Crypto.com app. Ironically, it says CKB is not available for the residents of the United States, but that's not true because I've been mining my coins into there for actually a couple years and trading CKB. And, you know, shameless plug, you get 25 bucks free if you use your boy's code. Really appreciate when you guys do all that stuff. It means all the difference and just kind of helps us stay afloat even in the red months. And in all seriousness, though, this is the best option for trading CKB by very far. We had an interview with Nervos CKB, God, that was like at least a year ago, and they took a pretty cool stance in the interview. They basically said, like, yeah, like, we're gonna stick with proof of work, we're gonna stay mineable. They're committing to mining, which is very rare in this era of cryptocurrency. Contrast that with Vitalik Buterin and Ethereum 2.0, and they're doing everything they can to move away from being mineable.
Hey guys, it's Miss Vosk here to tell you about today's video sponsor, BuySwap. BuySwap is a decentralized exchange on the BNB chain. They also have their own token, BSW. BuySwap just celebrated their 1-year anniversary and is hosting a space party where they will be doing several giveaways and competitions. Users who use the link in the video description below can also get a rebate on their trades and earn free BSW tokens. You can learn more about BuySwap by watching our full video review or checking out the link in the video description below. This is not financial advice. Please do your own research before investing.
Nervos is a network, it's a blockchain, it's a platform, bringing layer 2 solutions, dApps, decentralized application stuff on there. I'll talk more about that here in a second. It's actually pretty cool. One thing to note, though, is that we're down 88% from their all-time high, which is accurate per CoinGecko, about a year ago. And we're up only 100% from the all-time low, which is basically attributed with that COVID crash in March 2020. If you're bullish on Nervos long term, this could be a huge opportunity to mine coins and stack them up. Again, you do whatever you want to do, okay? So before we factor the electric bill, I'm pulling about $10.50 per day. And understand that the all-time high is basically moving this 1 decimal over. So if this coin was trading at all-time high, I would actually be mining about $84 a day. And look, you can make fun of me, you can laugh, but at the end of the day, on average, year over year, cryptocurrencies go up, and any half decent cryptocurrency that continues working, developing, and whatever else eventually hits a new all-time high. How many market cycles do you need to see to realize that? I'm not saying it's guaranteed, and don't bet all your money on that, because it's not exactly that simple, and this could take 1 year, 3 months, 7 years, okay? I'm just saying that it's probably going to happen eventually, proven by past performance, but that doesn't equal future results and whatever else. The fact is that Nervos Network CKB has high volume, even with not a lot of exchange listings. If they were able to make it onto some bigger exchanges and the right market conditions and pump some money into marketing, because they do have millions of dollars that they give away in grants and other initiatives and even marketing in their ecosystem. So hey, I'm just saying it's pretty cool to have a mineable coin that's committed to miner. But as far as the CK6, it's not all butterflies, rainbows, and donuts, buddy. Yeah, so this thing trading for about $10,000 direct from Goldshell. We personally were only able to source this because they sold out so quickly thanks to Big Sky ASICs. So thank you, Big Sky ASICs, for making today's video possible and helping us even be able to source this mining rig. Okay, we have a link out to Goldshell as well as Big Sky ASICs, who can still source more of these CK6 miners. If you want to get into mining on a smaller scale, maybe you could try a CK box. They're not all that profitable, in comparison to a full-scale, basically industrial-grade miner like the Goldshell CK6, but they're a great way to get started, have fun, get your feet wet mining, and they're trading for pretty low prices right now. There's another offer down here for the CK5, which is the previous generation for this. It says $3,600 or best offer. Again, a lot of deals can be had in the used marketplace, but there's a lot of inherent risks that come with that. If you buy this and 2 months later it doesn't work, well, you're kind of in for a bad time. Mining is a lot of fun. It's incredible earning passive income like this, but there are a lot of risks associated. And the further we go down the timeline, more and more people are trying to mine. The hash rate's going up, more people trying to take a bite. That's same pie. But long term, I hope a lot of things will also be built out on CKB. Last year we saw Yokai Swap launch, basically the first decentralized exchange on the Nervos network. Also Collect Me, an NFT marketplace on the Nervos network. But here's the kicker with the Goldshell CK6. I talked about a lot of the pros, but let's address the biggest con. Just a few days ago, this thing went negative. Yeah, it's gonna burn about $3,000 a year in electricity. And if we're mining $84 a day, fuck it. Yeah, we good. But even at 10 cents per kilowatt hour, a good residential electric rate, you're going to mine about $305 a month projected here, which pretty much falls in line with how much we're mining. I'm making a little bit more. I guess my profits are like 4%, 5% higher than this is projecting it to. But yeah, once you take out the electric bill, you're only going to be left with $2.23. So if all things were to stay the same, as they never do, in crypto, right? So let's just say the next 1,400 days, you're only gonna end up with $3,100 worth of CKB. I mean, look, when you run the numbers, it doesn't really make sense, right? I think the only way that this miner really makes sense is either at a cheaper price point, or you look at it from a business move, like you buy the miner, that's a write-off, you're expensing your electricity, consult a accountant, an advisor, how you can actually do this in your local jurisdiction, everything like that, right? But yeah, at the end of the day, if you got 10 grand and at the current CKB prices, I'm inclined to just throw that into the coin if I'm so bullish on it, right? Unless you really utilize these unique advantages of operating more like a business and less like, say, like just a hobby or something, right? So at a lower price point, it could certainly be interesting. And if CKB takes off in price, everybody will be rushing to buy these. I don't think it's the best buy. I don't think it's the worst buy. It's a coin that has completely committed to proof of work mining, which is a big thing. The fact that we can believe that this coin will still be, actively being developed, hopefully being very actively used, and above all, mineable in, say, 5 years, right? That's a big bull case. Everybody wishes they could go back in time and mine a bunch of Bitcoin. I'm not saying this is the next Bitcoin, But I don't want to say that about CKB, especially when I participated in their incentivized testnet, which basically we mined a fake coin and then were rewarded with some real CKBs or CK bytes when they actually launched. Hey, that's the breakdown. You do whatever you want to do. The Goldshell CK6, it has been working as it's supposed to. It makes more money than it burns, but not by much. The price tag, I don't think it's really worth it at these current prices, but again, I'm bullish. I'm excited long term on crypto as a whole. I love mining, and a lot of these coins that commit to mining. As a miner, how can that not excite you? And you try to support them in some way, shape, or form. If you buy overpriced miners and then you dump coins at their all-time lows, you're going to have a bad time personally, but you're also going to hurt these cryptocurrencies. And what do you think is going to happen then? Just like you're hurting me and you're hurting Tails, our CMO, our Chief Mining Officer, by not clicking subscribe. Okay? We're chasing 1 million subscribers. And your boy's got a good bit of a distance to close. So help me get there. Thanks for watching. We upload daily. Hope to see you tomorrow.
When you let me